What's up, everybody? I'm your host, Brian Watkins, and welcome to the Brian Watkins channel. My subject today is what I miss most about the legendary comedian Joan Rivers. Why am I doing this? To express and share with other Joan Rivers fans what I miss most about her. I remember back when I first came into a knowledge of her, and it was kind of awkward. It was in 1985, the winter of 1985. I was right in the peak of Prince height of the release of Purple Rain, the movie, and the release of the Purple Rain soundtrack. At that time, the internet was not available to the general public. Mail order was ruling. I don't know who ordered her books, but I read them, and they were funny. So when I saw her on television hosting the Johnny Carson show, from the time all the way until she passed away, I watched everything she did. What I missed about what I missed about Joan Rivers is she spoke her mind. She was raw, raw. She always said what most people were thinking but didn't say. She said it, and that's what I liked about her, that rawness. And she gone. See, who was like that before her as well, which I learned was the late Red Fox. They played on the hit sitcom Sanford Son. He was the same way. But see, I ain't know all this when I was a kid. Even when I came into the knowledge of Joan Rivers at that age, I was only 15. I wasn't allowed. They didn't allow people my age to come into comedy clubs at that time. This was 1985. So it took me some time to learn of her, raw work. I didn't even know she did. I just read her books. They were written in cartoon form and they were funny. It wasn't any profanity in it. It wasn't nothing sexual about it. They were just raw, funny jokes. So when I ended up learning that this was the same person, I saw her host Johnny Carson's show and stand-up comedian. And then I watched a lot of stuff she did all the way up till she passed away. And I think she was worth like $600 million. I was impressed with that. So I always liked her, period. So when I found out she passed away, I was saddened by it because Richard Pryor is gone. Only her, Richard Pryor, and Red Fox, and those were like the ones in my life that they brought it. It was raw, uncut. They serve it with no filter. You either drink from it or throw the cup down and run away out and get out the kitchen. But that's what I liked about her. She was unique. She wasn't masculine, but she wasn't all the way feminine. She was just a unique balance of uniqueness when it came to her style. She let you have it, and she even poked fun at herself. So, well, Andrew Dice Clay, he's like the last one, you know what I mean? But it's not many people that are like that in the entertainment business. And she represented longevity. She let him have it, you know. So I miss her a lot, because I enjoy comedy. I grew up listening to Richard Pryor, so I wish that I was allowed to be introduced to a milder form of comedy, but I didn't come into a knowledge of that type of person until years after, like Bill Cosby or Sinbad. I had already was raised by Richard Pryor, and we all know, everybody know how Richard Pryor handled his work, raw, uncut. So I miss her. I do, because I'm a writer myself, and so I know how to write raw material, semi-raw material, clean material from Bill Cosby and Sinbad, Eddie Murphy, a combination of all of them, Robert Townsend. But all that came from Richard Pryor, Joan Rivers, um, Red Fox. So, ladies and gentlemen, there you have it. That is what I miss most about Joan Rivers. Her unique, bold, courageous, gusto, uncut, dope, punch you in the stomach comedy. So, subscribe to my channel. If you like it or dislike it, click either one, put a comment on it, and you can look at my other ones, what I miss most about Prince, Michael Jackson, George Michael, Lou Ross, Donna Summer, Whitney Houston, just to name a few, and continue to tune in and support the Bryant Watkins channel. I record daily. Don't you go anywhere.